Hi, and welcome back to Accidental Thoughts. I'm Jason.
And I am not a Tesla owner. You're welcome, Rod.
Oh. We talked about Teslas, Rodrigo. It's all for you. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Buy one. They're kind of like boats. I think they're like boats. The best day of owning a Tesla would probably be the day you buy one and the day you sell
And the
it.
Bayou, or total it, or yeah. So,
Yeah,
in
whatever.
actuality, you domestic terrorists are actually helping people out because they're getting out and going buying
Exactly.
a gas car. Way to
Exactly.
go, environmental
Yeah.
activists.
Speaking of Tesla, because they're electric cars and trucks or whatever they want to call that thing. Anyway, I saw this video the other day where these people had a drone, okay, and then of course the battery and everything had a drone, and they were flying it over the swamp or something, and an alligator bit down on it and swallowed it. Okay,
And they still had video?
well, no, not really video, but they were videoing the drone as it was going around out there, and the gator, it was like trying to get a zoom in on it. But when the gator chomped down on it, the damn battery in the side of the drone exploded. And this gator is out
Oh,
there
yeah.
suffering, man. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I said, that sucks. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
but I mean,
Dude, I'll tell you what. I had a dog one time. I had those little mini drones
uh-huh,
that Home Depot sold that year. The
right. The one
Ford,
you
the
lost in the
racing drones,
neighborhood.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, no, not that one. That
Oh,
one I
okay.
got back. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
But no, this one here, it's little tiny ones, about yay big. There's four
Hmm.
of them in a box, and they were for racing around.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was playing with it, and the dog started chasing it, and I'm like, "That's funny, that's funny." She reached up, she
Yeah.
bit into it, and that dang thing lit.
All
Like
right.
it lit on fire. So
Okay.
the
I'm going to turn
battery got punctured and it burned.
my phone down just in case here.
And those lithium batteries
Yeah.
do not go off. Those lithium batteries don't go out. You can put
I
them in
know.
water, whatever. I had to
But you
take it and
think
run
about
it
it.
out
I mean, think about
quick.
that though. I mean, if them batteries like that explode that easily, where are they located at on these Teslas? And if you're rear-ended or you hit somebody,
But
I mean,
even on hybrids, I mean, we've talked about mine
yeah,
on my truck.
last thing
My
you want.
power boost. Yep, for those no. And that thing, the battery on that thing is in an armored case with its own cooling
Yeah.
system. So I think they took care of that in the Ford, in
Wonder if
terms
you
of the
have to
Ford. But
sign a waiver when you buy them
the
things.
no, I didn't have to sign a waiver for the hybrid. But again, that thing is like at the center of the truck in its armored case with its own cooling system. So it's like,
You will enjoy
yeah,
this
it's like,
vehicle. Just sign this disclaimer,
okay,
please.
yeah, exactly,
It's not
exactly.
like you're going
Or
bungee
five,
jumping or something, man. It's like it's a car. Why
well,
do I
I
feel
could
like
see him
I'm
looking at you.
signing my life away?
I could literally see him looking at you going,
Yeah,
"Hey,
yeah,
you've got 5 tons of high explosives underneath you.
exactly.
Have fun."
You sound like all of a sudden you feel like a smuggler, like, what am I doing? I just want to get to work and back,
Right.
man.
Right. Now, that being said, since we're talking about Teslas and the batteries and all that, what people are doing to them is wrong. And not because they're Tesla, not because they're Elon Musk, anything like that. I don't care what you think about the person personally. You're destroying private property, and it's just wrong. A big example of that, and what makes it wrong is my truck that's less than a year old, sitting in a Home Depot parking lot. Somebody ran a flat cart into it and put a big old dent in the front fender. I might have been all the Americana I have on my truck. Yeah, well, no, it wasn't the Ford so much as the eagle
Right.
flag, the flag and the
It
eagle on
is.
the sides, and the flag on the F-150 on the back. It's possible, but I don't think that was the case here. I think it was just somebody who wasn't paying attention let a cart get away from them and it hit my
I
truck.
think you were targeted.
What sucks is I never found out who, but
You see that hippie over there in the Ford?
yeah, well, personal destruction of personal property is just wrong any way you slice it. Is the
Right.
that so,
Yeah, but still,
eh,
it's a Ford.
that's kind of what.
Yeah, still a Ford. Sorry.
Yeah, How many times has your truck been broken into and attempted to
Possibly.
be stolen?
I like
10
to think. I like to think
And what
otherwise,
sucks
but
about that is,
you know,
you know,
they
won't
watched
pay
you.
you.
They were stalking you. That is true. Trust me. I've had 10 issues working in 20 years the same job. People breaking into my truck. And it's just like 10, 10, 10 times. One time
Right.
they got really good with it. Right. They got really close one time. And it was funny because when they did break into it, I was there. I mean, I was at work and I didn't think nothing about it. And I was walking outside and I was leaving and I saw the
What?
glass
Now,
kind of,
as somebody who knows a little
loose
bit
on the
about
passenger
this
side.
particular
And then
subject of, you know,
when I
stealing
opened the
vehicles,
door, I was like, why is my door unlocked?
don't
Like, that
ask
doesn't
where.
make any sense. Why is my steering column,
I have to tell you, I've never heard of the
looks like
Vaseline.
somebody busted my steering column apart,
No,
trying to hotwire it or something.
I've never
But the
heard of the
funniest thing that
Vaseline
I
trick.
learned that day,
In the older Chevys, particularly the early
there was
90s and older,
Vaseline
you literally could
everywhere.
take,
There was
pop the steering
Vaseline.
column open, pop the end of the starter tumbler open, and jab a big screwdriver, take a pair of vice grips, flip it over, and you were gone. And, unfortunately, most thieves aren't that
Oh,
smart,
I thought
but,
you were going to say something about Vaseline. I'm like, what do you know about Vaseline? They say.
you said that was pretty standard,
Right, right,
or it was.
right,
Mhm.
right. They,
I was driving around with Vaseline all over the cab because it makes me feel good.
well, I could say thieves are not smart, period. But the thing is, the officer, when he came out there to do the report and everything,
Uh-huh.
I was quick. I was
Right. The
quick.
vehicle was up.
I said, first of all,
Yeah.
I did not put this Vaseline over my dash or the doors. I was like, I don't know what. I didn't know. I didn't know what to
Drive around
say
with
because I'm
the
like,
Vaseline and
because
all over the
at
inside
that
of there.
time my area supervisor was there. He actually came to work. He actually came out there to get me, and because I couldn't drive the truck, I couldn't drive. I had to have it towed.
Oh,
And
Lord. Right.
when the tow truck driver showed up, he was like, "Oh, that's it's not uncommon to see that." And I'm like, "Please elaborate why."
I was gonna say, you gotta put on
Because
the glove.
I'm picturing these dudes. Well, before we take off in it, I was like, I didn't know what to think. I'm looking on the ceiling like
Right?
I was like, what? They
Hey,
use it to keep
we have
from
found
getting
pretty interesting
fingerprints
things in
and
Home Depot
stuff.
parking lots.
Anything like that
I
because
pulled up
it'll smear. And they wear them
today, yeah, I
neoprene
found
gloves
a
and
lady's
they put
pair of
Vaseline on them so no.
clothes at the back corner
I don't
of the
know. He
thing, right?
said
And
because
right
of
right
that,
next
that's
door to
why they
this
use
particular Home
Vaseline.
Depot, there
And
is
I'm just thinking, it's just probably a couple
an
of
extended
perverts or
stay suite
something. I said, there's
kind
I'll
of
probably open
ghetto-y.
that glove box
So,
and find something
we
I don't
kind of
even
know what's
want
going
to
on,
find.
whether
But
it be drugs or
either
other
way, 10 times
illicit
they broke into
activities.
my
Yeah,
truck.
the bigger thing is that, but here's the thing, that's the
Wow, you
same
found
story as you
some
pointed out
today?
to me
No,
earlier,
today?
that I found a
Yeah,
huge vibrating dildo at, right outside a
yeah.
very macho man's truck, and it wasn't
Hmm.
there till he pulled up. So, makes you wonder what was going on in that truck the night before.
Exactly.
Maybe they were using Vaseline. It was a
The
Chevy.
Vaseline in. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
You just want. Hey, buddy, you dropped that. I'm just saying, man. Yeah.
As much as I
I
pay
can
it,
tell
I
you, I mean,
think that
the
mine
thing
mine
is that,
doesn't use a
when
key to
people do
start.
that,
It's got a push button.
because you'd said
Now,
about the
don't get
fact
me
that,
wrong, I know that it has to
being
have the
stupid. I mean, it
RFID
is
from my
stupid. I mean, you're not
keys,
smart to do it in the first
and
place.
that won't
But I can tell you,
start,
there is
won't drive away.
never,
But
there was
here's the thing.
never a
If you
moment
hop in and you push that
that
button, you hop back
that
out, it'll
when I
honk at
do
you when you
park my
close the door
vehicle
telling you,
somewhere,
"Hey, I
something
don't
like that, I
detect a key."
always think to myself,
But I've never had anybody go up to it
"Well, is
without a
he going to
key
be here
after
when
it's
I
been
get back?"
started and see if it'll drive away. Because
You
some
know,
vehicles, they will.
and
They'll drive away and it'll run until they shut it off, at which point it doesn't matter. If they got it somewhere,
right,
they can strip it down and replace all that or reprogram it. Nowadays, some of these thieves,
right,
even though they have enough
right,
time to bring a laptop like I have a setup to read the computer on my truck. And on my wife's truck, because I do programming, you add an accessory, you got to
Right.
reprogram the ECU. Uh, and so, I have a
Right.
if somebody breaks into it, it does send me a notification. As a matter of fact, I've told you before,
Right.
yeah. Well, no, it'll actually say, your alarm has been triggered on your this vehicle, whatever the name you gave your vehicle is, because you can have multiples, obviously. You can have yeah,
Does your
yeah,
truck
mine just says
text
my
you?
hybrid. So, because I had both my hybrid and my 22 on the app at the same time until,
FYI, you are
until that
now
one got totaled
leaving
out
Texas.
completely and removed from. Yeah, well, normally my vehicles have better names than that. Like, the last one that got wrecked was Moondust, It's kind of a hippie name, but that
What?
was the
You
color.
give your
It was
vehicle
the
a
color.
name?
So, it was the color. It wasn't
Uh,
about about
I'm
anything
sure it
hippie.
does.
But what's funny is no, you can pull that
And I
up.
thought
I
I
can
was the
actually
only one that
GPS
named my
locate this thing
vehicle.
at the touch
I
of a
don't feel
button
so
from the
bad.
phone.
I'm
The
sure
one
everybody knows
flaw,
it, but
and Ford, y'all need to get on this and send out an update over the air. Uh, Because when I have a trailer
okay, I
hooked
don't go
up
that far.
and I walk out and the zone
I
lighting,
don't
which
go
is
that
the
far.
external lighting of the vehicle, when it's dark, it knows it's dark outside. And if you walk up, you
Yeah,
got your key on your hip or in your pocket, it will turn on the exterior lighting. Now, when it does that, when my trailer's hooked up, what'll happen is when it goes to turn those lights off, it thinks somebody disconnected the trailer and it'll go off. And it'll again
you're
text
gonna
me,
point them
message me
out.
telling me, "Hey, somebody's disconnected your trailer." And I'm like, "I'm standing right here, you dumb dumb." So
Right.
there's that.
Right. Right.
Well, folks, I think we lost Jimmy there for a moment. You still there, buddy? I think we might have lost Jimmy. We'll have to edit this out. Jimmy dropped off of the call for a moment. I think he's coming back. But, you know, that truck will call me, text me, whatever, when it ends up, having an issue. But anyway, we'll come back momentarily.